Kenya. How you doing, too?
What's up, Kenya? Kenya?
Oh, man, I was listening to your podcast with Miss Sheila on there,
Uh huh.
and I got a couple of things to say. I'm going to keep it respectful because she's 65 years old or whatever, and, I was raised in that genre where you respect your elders because I really want to curse, but I'm going to keep it respectful.
What was off?
Well, there was a couple of things. When you bring my daughter's name up and I'm listening, I'm gonna correct you.
Yeah.
So, you know, I know you keep things straight, but it was just things that she brought Roxy name in, and clearly she's not up to date and have not been following things through. So, let me get my notes.
Okay.
So the first thing she said, well, one of the things that bothered me most was she was talking about there is no body and DNA. Well, let me bring you up to date, Miss Sheila. Nowadays, you don't need a body to convict someone of unaliving individuals with technology and resources that they have out there. They changed the law
Hold
so
on one
that
second.
we
Hold on
don't.
one second. Kenya. They saying they can't hardly hear you a little bit. Can you speak up in the phone just a little
Let
bit
me
more?
put you on speaker. You know what? Let me put you on speaker because I got
Okay.
my headset on. Hold on. Okay. Can you hear me
Hell
now?
yeah, much better. Much better.
Okay, so just to update Miss Sheila, they changed the law, sweetie. They changed the law. You no longer need a body to convict somebody of unaliving them.
Facts.
With technology and resources that we now have, they don't need a body anymore. And you're from Michigan, you should know about the Zion Foster case that they convicted on. There was no body on that either. So I appreciate you keeping hope alive and hoping NaZiyah is going to pop in that court case in the court when court happens. But I think that's very doubtful.
Mm-hmm.
But I appreciate you wanting to keep hope alive. I doubt if NaZiyah pops in the courthouse. But you don't need a body nowadays. There were so many people being unalive. Police and everyone else helped change that law.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't need a body to convict him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that Kim Worthy and the prosecutors and all of them would go through all of that information that they have to sit up there and tell us that she is no longer on this earth. I just don't see that way.
I think that's been a big misconception when it came down to a lot of things because at one minute you would see Kim Worthy saying like she's in fact deceased, but then it would be other situations where people are like, nah, you know what I'm saying, blah blah. Now, what other things was wrong that was said?
She also mentioned the Roxy with the basement part where the person was saying help in the basement.
Yeah.
Well, she was paying attention. She would know that that wasn't Roxy that made that video. That was Mosquito Bite that made that video, and Mosquito Bite is the same boy that made the video about the shoes. I know what the blood look like. I know what blood look like on shoes.
Mm-hmm.
That's him. He made that video about NaZiyah being in the basement, not Roxy. Roxy dogged him and slammed him about doing that. That's where Roxy came in at. She didn't
Okay.
make that video, ma'am.
Okay.
So she also talked about money. Everybody's getting money off of this. People that are not even family members are getting money off of this, and she have a problem with Roxy getting a little bit of monetary gain. It didn't make her rich. It didn't put thousands in her pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you care what money she gets from this?
Mm-hmm.
And she said she knew Roxy and Mark was on some BS. None of that was planned. So clearly she hasn't been following the story because if she was and she had been, she wouldn't have said none of that. None of that would have came out of her mouth about Roxy or Mark.
Mm-hmm.
And then she said, "Oh, even they said that Roxy don't even know them. She don't be around them like that." Well, if you was paying attention, you would know how Roxy even came involved with this NaZiyah case. It
So,
wasn't about Vari knowing who Roxy was. Shannon, Annette, and them, they know who Roxy is. Vari was a bit young.
mm-hmm.
Regardless of Roxy's family, who is she to say anything about how Roxy got involved? And if she'd been paying attention, she would know how Roxy got involved with this story with NaZiyah and everything that Roxy has done to get NaZiyah's story out here and get help to get the story exposed. So
Mm-hmm.
who are you to speak negative about Roxy and what she's done? It's people like her that make my ass itch. As she said, her daddy said everybody got an ass, right?
Mm-hmm.
She makes my ass itch. Because here you are throwing mud on an individual that you're not paying attention to and understanding that she's out here for the good, not the bad. But here you are speaking on her name. So my suggestion is to you, Miss Sheila, just sit back in your rocking chair, put your dentures in,
No,
and just be quiet and
no.
learn.
I think what it is, I think what it is, it's just that this internet now, it has so much wrong information that is it's becoming so confusing on everybody's behalf. You know, it's just becoming a tangled web of nothingness. And then like how everybody's been saying for the longest, it's like we're losing sight on what the real deal is, and that is just making sure, you know what I'm saying, that this baby either come home or, you know, everybody who's responsible get dealt with that shit. You feel what I mean? Now, there was also some talk though about the custody arrangement. Are you familiar with that? Do you know in fact if Shannon has her kids or not?
From what I understand, the children are dispersed, and the girls are dispersed to someone that they know.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't go into details.
No, you don't got to go into details, but I mean, at least that bit of information that she said is correct. That, you know what I'm saying, the kids are not okay. That's because that's really all, huh?
The kids been gone. The kids been gone,
and we
but
know
they with people that they know.
Yeah, and I mean, and we understood that it's just been, like I said, it's just been so many different platforms with so much misguided information. Like Miss Parker dropped a long time ago that the kids was gone, you know what I'm saying? But people still be in her comments as well, like the kids is not there, you know, the kids are there and blah, blah, blah. So we just wanted to make sure that at least we was on the same page with that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just so confusing when it comes down to it. And then when you put in the extra stuff, you know what I'm saying, the unnecessary shit, you know what I mean? It just make the case seem like it's getting further and further away from, you know what I'm saying, just focusing on NaZiyah. You know what I'm saying? Again, I showed them, I appreciate you once again because we haven't really talked. We haven't talked at all ever since the video shooting. And once again, I wanted to say I appreciate you for even showing up to that, man. That shit just was, it ended up being a very beautiful project. And I just appreciate you showing up, you know what I'm saying, to represent NaZiyah and everything like that. It ended up being very, very dope. Now, I know you say you had some notes. Do you have anything else, too, that it's a misconception about?
Yeah, just being real about it. I just wish people would just leave Roxy's name. If you feel like you feel fine, but you don't know her, and she's been out here to try to help expose what's happened to NaZiyah. That's all. No more, no less. The monetary part was a plus. We didn't know nothing about that. She didn't know nothing about that. But stop being so negative about her, because she ain't did nothing but try to do right by NaZiyah, whether she was a part of NaZiyah's life or not. But she was not. But that's still her cousin at the end of the day. We're still related to her. And my daughter didn't mean no harm to NaZiyah or nobody else, but to help get her name out here and get her story exposed. No more, no less. Just stop trying to slam her because she's done nothing wrong.
Has any of this case right here put like a really big damper within the family? Like, do you find the family being separated because everybody got different views on everything?
No, our family been separated. Ever since just about all our elders, our parents are gone, our family been separated. So this NaZiyah part didn't separate our family. It's been separated.
That's fucking horrible. Now, we was talking yesterday. It seems like Dre, Marquita's boyfriend, went to jail or some shit.
I'm not laughing.
I ain't laughing neither, but it's like this shit be so crazy because it's like always the second episodes of some shit. You know, things like that. I mean, have you heard anything about them being okay? Was anybody all right? I mean, was everybody all right? Was anybody hurt?
I honestly, I don't know nothing but besides what I watched on Parker, and that's when I found out listening to that. So I don't mess with none of them. We don't mess with none of them. So we hear stuff through y'all. So we didn't know. I didn't know he was locked up, poor thing. But we gonna see how he feel when he get out.
I got a question though, real talk. You know, there is a definitely an Instagram page of it allegedly being Janiyah. Have any of the family, have anybody talked about that in the family? Like, you know what I'm saying? Is that in fact her? Is she okay? Like, because some of the things that she's posting, it hurts. You know what I'm saying? It makes me really, really sad. Like, do we know if that's her or is that a fake page? Like, what is going on with that?
My honest opinion is reading the things, and I think some of them is her.
You think it might be her when you read some of the stuff?
Yeah,
I do too.
yeah, I do.
I do
Yeah,
too.
but and I don't know if people will even realize, but that little girl is hurting from right
Man.
to left to right. That little girl got so much built up in her right
I
now.
can only imagine. That's
Yeah.
another pain of mine. Like a lot of people, sometimes you know what I'm saying. We're so deep into the NaZiyah aspect of it that we don't like really cast a light on the other children. And I mean, when I think about Janiyah, like my heart breaks for her because it's like she's a victim as well. But sometimes, the NaZiyah case can overshadow some of the trauma and some of the grief that she might have experienced as well. So like that, my heart breaks for her, bro. Like real talk. I hope everything end up being totally okay for her because I think about her a lot lately. And then the fact that, you know what I'm saying, it seemed like that she was the fact that she was really close to NaZiyah and now she don't even have an outlet anymore. That is really
Yeah,
sad to me. And I was
yeah.
I was looking at another thing because I was on the video the other day and a person was feeling I was looking at no what we was reviewing Mark D's old video when he had with NaZiyah's father, and NaZiyah's father said something that he didn't feel like that lady was Annette's biological child. I mean, is that true or false?
Listen, he didn't even know what lady name is. If you listen, he called her
He
Chantel.
called it Chantel. No, he did. I mean, because I knew it too. It was like, I'm just trying to think of little things that I just wanted to like, because what the fuck was he talking about? But we know he didn't really come around like that. So that's why I'm like, what is this man even talking about? But I just thought I
Yeah,
asked because I'm just like, shit, you never know. You know what I'm saying? For real,
yeah.
for real.
Annette definitely gave birth to her. He was never around. So, but Annette definitely gave birth to that girl.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm
That
good.
that she came out of Annette.
Well, I'm glad that you cleared up whatever misconceptions and things like that. Because, I mean, I try to keep my platform. I want to keep it open to where everybody can talk and have dialogue, you know what I'm saying, without it just being, real messy. Because at the end of the day, we got to try to get to the bottom of this shit. And we can't get to the bottom of it arguing and stuff. So I appreciate you taking the time out, reaching out to, Kasai hit me and said, you know what I'm saying, Kenya want to clear some shit up. And I'm like, absolutely. Because anytime something is said, you have every right to be able to clarify what is not right. So, of course, you can definitely have a platform, you know what I'm saying, or whatever to say what else you need to say. Now, is there anything that you guys may be worried about coming up into the trial, or do you feel 100% confident of it being Jarvis by itself, or do you feel like this might be a shared encounter?
I think it's, I think it's, yee,
Don't say nothing if
God.
you feel like it's gonna be a little bit, because I know the trial. I don't want you. I just whatever you could speak on. I just want to know, because I mean, when I first came into it, watching this case, I honestly felt without a shadow of a doubt when I first came in that it was him and him only. But now, as you pull back the layers of this case, bro, it's kind of like, oh shit, it might not have been just that. You know what I'm saying? Things that you thought you might have knew, you really didn't. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I just was asking that. But I don't want nobody compromising the case. So if you feel like saying your opinion on it might say something or hurt you later on, fuck it. Don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like that, so
Yeah,
don't say
I,
shit because I want this bitch to go smooth.
I got you. I mean, but honestly saying, I don't think, I think there will be more arrests.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say that. If he didn't do it by himself and he's going to take a charge like he's going to take, I think that he's going to speak up to not get such a harsh charge if he wasn't by himself.
And in your heart of hearts, you don't think it's no way. Like in your heart, like you deeply feel like there's no way that NaZiyah could be in hiding.
No,
Not at all.
no, and I felt that when I first did my first interview with Mark D. I felt it then in my soul that she was no longer here. And that was before they even announced it.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I don't believe that she is here. I don't feel that she is at all. I don't.
Do you know how her mother might be holding up? Do you know if she's okay? Like, because I know she's kind of like been on a. I mean, and this is a lot of shit to swallow. And I know that sometimes with NaZiyah, she's in the forefront of everything. Do anybody know if she's okay? Have anybody checked on her? Has she? Did she come around?
Haven't heard from her since she was last. I think the last contact she made with Roxy was about the GoFundMe money.
With
I
Vari,
think that kind of sent, that sent Roxy over the edge, and she was like, "I'm returning the money." So that was the last time I think that she made contact with her, and then the last time I've seen her was at the balloon release. So we've been hearing things, and all we can do is pretty much just pray for her. We haven't spoke with her, and just pray that she get on her feet somehow, some way.
A lot of people, a lot of misconception too is that even though you and others might not have been in the house, they feel like you should have some shared responsibility. What do you say for people like that? I mean, do you feel like from an outside and from the information that you was given and for everything that you could do at the particular time, do you feel like that you did everything that you could do possible without going to jail? Because a lot of people, everybody's had their own feelings. And I just, me and you never talked before, especially about this and shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, when we was in Detroit, we was focusing on that baby, so we didn't even have a time to talk. So like, what do you say for people like that?
Well, I can be honest with it. Had I known that NaZiyah, something was happening to her like that, I would have took a different approach. NaZiyah would still be here, and I can honestly say she would still be here, because it would have been easy for me to have access to her, But it wasn't mentioned like this is happening to all the kids. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't brought to me like that. You know what I'm saying? Because had my cousin just said, NaZiyah, part of this, she would have just said, NaZiyah can tell, or something. NaZiyah will still be here. I kid you not. That little girl will still be here. But like I said, this is probably how it was supposed to go. You know what I'm saying? Even Miss Sheila said, "Oh, we knew she was pregnant. She at the school, y'all knew she was pregnant. Y'all didn't call the police or CPS or nobody, and y'all knew she was pregnant."
I actually asked Miss Sheila like that, and she said, a lot of times it's slipped between the cracks because of sometimes the outrage and shit that the parents bring. But I always thought that it might have been a protocol. Like if you see any minor pregnant, I felt like that was automatically supposed to be a CPS issue. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. But she said, I don't think that it got so big to where, a lot of the staff got involved. But she said there was whispers, or whatever of, they could see changes of NaZiyah or whatever. So of course, it might have been a little bit of the break room banter. But, when you think about it, though, I mean, there isn't a big presence in schools anymore because the funding is getting cut. So it makes you say, like, what the fuck is the DPS is really doing? You know what I'm saying? Because, like, if you're not going to be able to protect our kids on that level, then what the fuck we got the school open for? Like, somebody got to be able to do something. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever when it come down to that. But, yeah. I don't know, man. I hope not only is there a conviction, I just hope that somebody at least say where she's at so she can be brought home correctly. It's like holding y'all up for being able to have a funeral for the baby. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a whole bunch of shit, and I just don't understand how that works. Now, with Miss Annette and Kim Worthy and them already declaring her deceased, what is Annette waiting on the actual conviction before she do a memorial for NaZiyah?
To be honest with you, I can't tell y'all what Annette is waiting on because in my eyesight, I see Annette getting handcuffs on her, so she may not be the one that's going to do a memorial for her anyway.
Well, you know what? I hope so. Because there's a lot of funky shit that she did. There's just a lot of things that doesn't make sense, especially when you're a seasoned woman. Now, like, my whole aggravation has been with her and Shannon and Jarvis throughout this whole trial. because to me, them the only people that fucking matter. Them the only people that seen her last. Them the only people that was deemed responsible of that baby. So everything else to me doesn't matter. It's just the fact of the matter that this baby went out one day and did not come home. And you telling me 3 grown ass people couldn't understand why. That blows the fuck out. I just never understand that. I never understand why Annette wanted to wait 24 hours. I would never understand none of this shit. You feel me? So yeah, I hope handcuffs is coming to all of them very, very soon.
Me too.
Do you think before the trial that he might spill something? You think he might tell before we get to trial?
I mean, I would hope that he do, because I mean, basically, you know, if they offer him something, he gonna have to do it right then and there, because there ain't gonna be no going back.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean?
Has Shannon always been this stupid over this nigga? Like, she always been like punch drunk in love with him like this to this capacity?
You know what? I have to be 100% honest with you. I'm not around to be in her. I was never around to be in her relationship.
Yeah.
When I seen Shannon, she had just had the one baby.
Mm-hmm.
So that just goes to show you I'm busy with my own life. She had only one baby by him, and that was Janiyah. And the 4, I didn't see them. Well, yeah, I did see whatever the second one name is. Lord Jesus, forgive me.
Yeah.
Then I seen that second one, but the rest of them I have not even seen those children in eyesight. So that just goes to show you, you know, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you go by what you're taught, your taught behavior, by what you notice from who you are around. So, you know, if her mama didn't teach her no fucking better, then who? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, she went for what she knew, or didn't think it all the way through. It's unfortunate. I mean, even going back and forth with her and her sister on Facebook in 23, it still didn't make a difference to them. You know what I'm saying? A man was more important than the safety of children. That just goes to show you the mentality, you know, that they had or whatever. And they're not the only ones out here that has that mentality either. It's a lot of females out here that have that mentality.
Oh, hell yeah.
They'd rather have a man around than to protect children.
Facts. 4 of them is his baby mamas like that, because he picked the same type of woman like four different times. What do you say, Kenya? Because I mean, you know, we never chopped it up, but what do you say to the people that just constantly blaming you? You know what I'm saying? Because you wasn't in the house, you wasn't really there a lot to know a lot, but you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you say to the people that's saying like, goddamn, like, lady, what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Why you didn't do, what do you say to those people? Because I see that a lot online. There's a lot of people that blame you, Roxy, Janelle, and Kiwana, and none of y'all was in the house. So what do you say to the people that's constantly just, you know, doing y'all like that?
Yeah, just hope that this kind of situation that never arises in your family, because you never know what you're going to do until you have to do it. You know what I mean? It's unfortunate that, you know, this has happened to NaZiyah, but it's not like we live in that household or whatever. Annette is a shut-mouth kind of individual. You know what I mean? It's not like we saw anything going on when we did see her, or, you know, if we had a family gathering, you know what I'm saying? We didn't see none of the kids getting touched or nothing like that. They may be well behaved because, well, Annette was that kind of an individual. So, you can't do what you don't know what's happening. You can't do nothing about what you don't see. You know what I'm saying? So, am I an individual that take action? Absolutely. Had I known something was happening, I would have taken action for NaZiyah. I'm a kid protector. I do not believe that children should be harmed in no such form or fashion, especially when it comes to the adult SA in them. So, you know, you can point a finger all day, but at the end of the day, if someone in your family is in this kind of situation, just make sure you take the right action so that they don't end up like NaZiyah.
Yeah, absolutely. Was there ever whispers when y'all was growing up that what the fuck was really kind of off with Annette? Like, you know how you be in the family and your parents, when they want you to go over there and shit like that, could you see things from the back that might made it seem like she just didn't have it all wrapped too tight? Was she always like a fan of her kids dating older men?
Well, you know what? I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know about all that. But what I can say is that I never imagined Annette being that kind of an individual. I never would have thought that she would end up in something like this. but I've always said them gambles are fucked up.
Yeah.
And I excluded Annette out of that, but now I know that she's also fucked up,
Yeah.
unfortunately. You just never know who your family members really are until you know them.
Was it
You know?
time when times when Annette was on this stand and she'd say some shit and you knew it was a lie and you like, why is this bitch lying? Like, I mean, cause there's certain things that I caught up already, but like did she really call NaZiyah glamorous?
Yeah. She nicknamed all her grandkids.
And she used to call her that every when she'd call her when she, around the house and shit.
Yeah. All her grandkids got nicknames, and they're glamorous, beautiful. I can't think of the other ones, but yeah, they all of her grandkids have nicknames, all of them. And then NaZiyah, I didn't even know NaZiyah what NaZiyah's name is, to be honest. It was TOOTIE.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I know her by. And lady had to tell me, she was like, it's pronounced NaZiyah. I was like, huh? It's TOOTIE. She was like, no, her name was NaZiyah. I was like, oh, well, I never knew her name, lady.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew her name. So, you know what I'm saying? I just know nicknames. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. All of them got nicknames.
What
All of them.
yeah, it's crazy as hell because I mean, as much as this case go on, it's just so many discrepancies. Like I ain't gonna lie, Miss Sheila. Yeah.
Oh, and the police officer, he is a correctional officer. He's not a police officer. He is a correctional officer. There's a difference.
Who?
Their brother.
Their brother's a correctional officer, not a police officer.
That is correct.
Okay. And they also said that NaZiyah was never in a fight at school. Did you think that was like made up too?
I don't know about it being in school, but I know that she was in a fight.
Okay, but it just okay. Cause you know, it's like a lot of discrepancies. When people would say that she was jumped in school, some people said it was outside of school. I'm just trying to understand because Miss Sheila said it was no fight in school. So you know, what I mean?
I believe it was outside of the school. It wasn't inside the school.
Yeah, I feel bad because everybody we was talking about today though, where it looked like NaZiyah might have been in distress on the 9th. When she was like laying on the floor and she wasn't her stomach was hurting and things like that. I mean, it's sad that the counselors wasn't there. I just don't understand what the fuck was going on because it just seemed like every outlet she had that day failed her, and that's just fucking horrible.
Yeah, I mean, and then just being a human being, period. And you know, this little girl don't normally act like that. I mean, she's crawling on the floor and she's in pain, and you still don't think to take action. I mean, goddamn.
No, facts. I had a problem with that too because you know at this point, this is a child. For you to feel comfortable witnessing in that and then allowing them to be able just to get on the bus, I just didn't really understand that. Well, that's just all I wanted to know. Thank you so much for calling. I ain't gonna take too much of your time. I just know. The assistant said that you wanted to clarify some stuff, and I'm gonna always give everybody a platform to say how they feel about it because I mean nothing here is law right now. Nobody, we don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? We gotta wait till October, but you know what I'm saying. Just as if somebody says something, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt to be able to respond and defend yourself. So you know what I'm saying. Hopefully, you know what I mean, or whatever. Miss Sheila here, and you guys will understand each other now as far as like what was a misconception and what was not. You know what I mean? That's it. The end of the day, we all got one goal, and that's just to make sure that this baby come home and to get justice for her. So, yeah, that's the forefront. That's the priority. So everything else really don't matter. It's just conversation at this point. You feel me?
Yep, and I can never tell you thank you enough.
No problem. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming out to the Black Diamond shoot. It meant a lot. As you can see, I think it is some advancements going on with London Thomas's father. They're just waiting right now for some more autopsies to come back and things like that. But man, my heart breaks for all of you guys. I would hate to be in this type of position to where anybody in my family had to pass away. At least even if especially this tragic. You know what I'm saying? I don't think no kid deserves that. So, you know what I mean? Prayers all the time for the family. And I hope everything in October goes according to plan. I really do.
We do too. Thank you too.
All right, no problem. Have a good day.
You too.
All right. Well, shouted. We're gonna get into this other video in a second, but I wanted to be able to allow her to be able to say her piece too. Here's the thing. I try super hard to keep everything in a way to where we don't lose sight on what the fuck we're here for. You feel me? I know that we've been in the midst of a whole bunch of confusion. And I know that sometimes you done heard so much shit from TikTok and you done heard so much shit. It's like you almost believe that it's law because that's just what you believe. But the thing it is, the fact of the matter is, bro, like there has been so much bullshit to where it's polluting, it's just polluting everything. In my heart of hearts, I'm gonna stand on what I said. I feel like Shannon knows something. I feel like Annette knows something. And my position has been the same since I started reacting about this. I hope all of those bitches get it bad. I don't really have a lot of time to get in the outside sources of the family. I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm just being honest. And it's always been my position. And it's no disrespect to anybody else who dig into those. It's just that, shawty, that's just never really been the focus for me. You know what I'm saying? So I tried to stray away and stay away to as much as the mess as I can, because it's like, babe, at the end of the day, niggas can be arguing into the next year. And there's still one fact that remains. This baby ain't here. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all. This baby ain't here. So it's like, you know, if we not concentrating on get closer to finding her and what happened, bro, I don't, man, take your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously, shout out to Miss Parker. Everything, you know what I'm saying, that she was saying as far as them babies not being there is concerned, as you can see, it's been confirmed not only by Miss Sheila, but also, you know what I'm saying, by Kenya Kennedy as well. She said as well as she know it, them babies been gone. So everybody should be on the same accord with that. There shouldn't be any more questions with that. Let's move the fuck on and find something else to focus on so we can nail all of these bastards. You know what I mean? I don't like none of them when it come down to this shit. And I'm speaking mainly of Jarvis, Shannon, Marquise, all of them, that whole bracket. Because I've never seen grown women, grown ups, lie so much. I don't understand it. It always pisses me off. I just don't get it. But fuck it. We're finna move on to, we're gonna get into the video that you guys had sent me. I mean, y'all want us to review. We're gonna make sure that we do that again too. The Computer Love episode 1 is out there. You feel what I mean? I want to get into some of these. I seen some people leaving some comments and stuff. If you want to, actually hit me up.